Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final audio commentary for Tribus. This is The Mind's Eye, the third and final short of the three Tribus short films. The Mind's Eye was actually the first idea I had when I didn't even know I was going to do an anthology film. And I had this idea of this person being, just attacked and tortured and just almost like reliving like nightmares. Like, everyone has the nightmare of being attacked while you're in the shower, and things like that. So this was at one point things that frightened me, or that I knew frightened a lot of people. And I thought, oh my god, that would be such a cool film to make. And it was very much a horror movie. Like, in its first iteration, it was just pure horror. There was the whole mystery of, oh my god, at the end, she's in a coma. But it was a lot more horror based and a lot more violent. And through different iterations, the story got smaller and smaller and smaller until it became, the final short. So I have to talk about this. So originally, there was always someone that she was going to talk to, someone that lived with her in her apartment. It was actually originally going to be a woman her same age, and the idea was they were kind of roommates, not college roommates. This was post-college, they're older, but they're just going to be roommates. And I felt like there is something missing between the two characters. Like, there need to be something nurturing, and I didn't want it to be like a dad, or I wanted it to be someone still relatively young. So I decided to make it her big brother, and of course I would play him because my sister is here, and it just, I don't know, it would just be fun to shoot, and, I'm limited by my actors. And I think it really added something to the movie that you couldn't have had with the two sisters, the two friends idea. That would have still worked, but I think this just added more of a layer to it than the other ones. So the first person sequence you see here, that was all really, that's like a little teaser of what you're gonna get to see later on. I had mentioned before the last two shorts, that they really are, it's different tribes. This was a tribe of three, this short. The three being me, my wife, and my sister. Obviously my contributions were, I had directed this, I had created it. It was an idea I had, and we were bringing it to life. I directed it, of course. My wife helped me co-write the script, and she did a magnificent job. There are things in this movie, especially the internal dialogue, she really made that better, like bits like this, that I would never have came up with if not for her. And my wife is a writer, she's an author. She writes novels, and this was her first attempt at writing a screenplay, and I thought she did great. I really did. It was awesome. I showed her the ropes and whatnot, but she really shot it out excellently, I feel. And then my sister, of course, she contributed a lot. She's the starring role. She's the main character. On top of that, there's a lot of, when we gave her the script and she read it, there were some things that she didn't really like, or she wanted altered for a variety of reasons. And in doing that, helped shape how the story would be told. There's a lot of first-person shots, like the opening sequence and things like that. Like, that became kind of like the trademark of this movie. Originally, there was only one sequence that was like that. But because of a lot of things, her availability and some changes she wanted to make, we ended up shooting those as a first-person sequence with my wife as my sister's double. And then later on adding, you know, voices and Foley and whatnot to make it sound like my sister was there. It came out really well. It was something I didn't expect to be so good in the film. And that was entirely my sister. That was her, you know? Just doing her thing and adding to this, which I really appreciated. And of course she acts very well, which I can't thank her enough. So yeah, this was the original first person shot. That was the only one that was going to be in the movie. When I first came up with this idea, I was actually doing my exercise bike and I was exercising and I had a full view of the stairs in our house. And I thought to myself, how fucking creepy would it be for like this masked thing to run down the stairs and just start stabbing you, you know? And originally, it was going to be her on a bike. I was just like, let me stick that in there. And I thought, you know, the kitchen seems like, I don't know, it's scarier for some reason, like, you know, being murdered in your kitchen. And then having like and we had that tile floor, so like the blood would pour out more. It just made more sense to do it here. And, excuse me, that's exactly what we went for. And that was such a hard shot to coordinate. That was very difficult. That was something my wife and I rehearsed. Like, I'm pretty sure we dedicated an entire day of filming just for that sequence because we knew rehearsal was going to be big. We knew just so much was going to be spooky about it. So we ended up doing that. Oh, and that shot of the text message. So this whole movie was shot in anamorphic widescreen. That one shot was not, because when I put the lens on and I put the close-up, you just couldn't read it. It was so stretched and bizarre and warped. So I said, you know what, I'm going to shoot it in regular widescreen, and then we'll just do like a zoom in. I think it'll work out, and it did. So yeah, this was an additional first person. Was not in the script originally like this. It was all one continuous shot originally, but from a third-person perspective. And we decided to go first person, honestly, because of my sister's availability. There was a lot going on in her life at this time, and you have to respect that. And we just did not really have time to sort the filming out. We really wanted to release this in the time that we released it, and it had to be shot. And I think it works out, though. I'm very pleased. This is actually one of my favorite movies that we made of this. Oh, one thing I don't think anyone has really noticed, and I did this on purpose, and when you jump to the close-up of her to this, you could really notice it. But gradually, in the movie, while we're in her head, things get more and more distorted, the color. Like, it gets, like, almost yellower. I put this filter on the, in each scene, the filter I put, it becomes more and more yellowed and distorted, and just like this weird, like almost like a hyper reality kind of look, like a subtle one. That was no one has noticed that so far, and that was something I put because I wanted I wanted it to reach the crescendo of like it's really tacked on, and you haven't really noticed because it's been subtle throughout the whole movie. And then when we do that hard cut of her face so frightened to her peacefully sleeping, what these people are actually seeing in reality, you notice the color goes back to normal. It's not like a strange look or anything like that. And that was entirely, something I did. I just thought that was really cool to do. And I haven't had anyone notice it yet, which is funny. So here we wrap up the movie, and God, this movie really goes by. This is like one of the fastest paced movies. I think this is the shortest of the three. It might be my favorite. I'm not sure. I really enjoy them all. I just know that my sister did such a fucking good job, and it's such a good twist, and I really love the experimentations I did with this movie. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the other features.